Now on CoastTV News.
Trees still down at farms. How farmers are handling long-lasting damage from that recent blizzard.
Parking problems, debate continuing in the city of Lewes as a working group talks solutions.
The melting snow and warmer weather means potholes. The repairs ahead for DelDOT and mechanics.
Looks like we're going to be staying a bit cloudy, a bit drizzly, and a bit rainy as well.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Damaged farm fences in Frankfurt. Good evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis in for Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with farmers still dealing with the blizzard aftermath.
Farmers across Sussex County still cleaning up, and the damage goes beyond snow-covered fields that were creating problems for crops. CoastTV reporter Nicole Richter shows us the trouble farmers are running into.
Broken and busted up fences. For some farmers, last week's blizzard left a big impact.
This is still thousands of dollars of cleanup that we're going to have to do.
Sections of farm fencing were destroyed, leaving property lines open and repairs piling up.
With the cold temperatures and the wind and all the snow, it's just, snow is good for the soil, but it's a lot to deal with, a lot being able to get around and tearing things up. Our fence here.
Henry Bennett from Bennett Orchards says fixing this kind of damage is not cheap.
A lot of this deer fence cannot be salvaged, it's going to have to be replaced.
Farmers say that repairs can cost up to over $5,000. But the issue isn't just the cost. As Sussex County continues to grow and develop, wildlife is getting pushed towards farmland, making those fences all the more important.
There's more deer than acres, so it's the farmer that takes the brunt of it.
As development has its grip on Sussex County, especially southeastern Sussex County where we live, wildlife, especially deer, have nowhere to go. So they go to what remaining farmland is left, and they can eat our crops.
The storm's impact is just another challenge this season.
Now, if you look behind me, you can just see how much damage the blizzard has caused, tearing down these fences from the fallen trees. Now, if you follow me over here, you'll be able to see just more and more damage. Now, farmers are telling me that this is going to cost a lot to repair. Now, with warmer weather expected this weekend, they say that with the conditions, they're hoping to start repairing in order to get ready for their spring season. In Frankfurt, I'm Nicole Richter, Coast TV News.
Now, while farmers say the recent blizzard was not good for their fences, the snow did bring one benefit: plenty of moisture. That helps improve soil conditions and gives crops a boost as the growing season approaches.
If you've been to Lewes or if you live there, you know just how tricky it can be to find parking. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Lewes. Emma, it only gets worse as the weather warms up.
Charlie, we are driving down 2nd Street right now, and take a look outside here. You can see cars everywhere. Almost every spot is taken up. We're going to try and look for a spot here. So far, not seeing anything. We will see. We're seeing some cars having to circle around a bit. Granted, it's Friday, it's dinner time, but this is only March. And this is how many cars there are. Is that one right? Nope, there's a car there. So we're gonna have to keep circling around, but today a city working group talked solutions again, trying to fix issues experienced by people who live in Lewes, businesses, employees, and those who come to visit. Ideas floated around by the working group include a residential parking permit program. They mentioned Bethany Beach as an example, designated employee parking areas, and city-wide 3-hour parking, but not all members agreed on these different solutions.
The bottom line we keep coming up with is we really need a parking garage here, but that's a big expense, and I don't think that's something we want to look at this time because there's so many things out there that we have to do as a city.
A BB healthcare representative was also at the meeting today. He said they're getting really tight with parking over at the hospital, especially for employees. Again, we're going to show you another look outside here. This car in front of us still looking for a parking space, even all the way down on the other end of 2nd Street. And again, it's really important to note Lewes is only 4.5 square miles here, yet as group members mentioned today, it's really servicing people from so many other surrounding areas coming to eat, shop, and visit here. And the working group will have to bring all ideas to the mayor and city council before they actually implement anything. Reporting live here in Lewes, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
As the snow melts and temperatures start to warm up a bit, road conditions do become a concern, especially potholes. They're created from the extreme cold and the snow from the winter. That means your car can suffer the consequences. There are a few telltale signs that your car may have encountered a pothole.
Usually you'll feel a shaking either in the seat or in the steering wheel. If it's in the seat, it's generally a rear tire. If it's in the steering wheel, it's generally in a front tire.
The report of condition is a tool that's available on our Del.dot app. It's also on our website. Again, we even have a button you can click for a pothole, and you can tell us exactly where that is.
And McLeod said this is pretty typical. Pothole repairs really kick in throughout the month of March.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, where do you see potholes the most?
Let's take a look at the results here. So far, 66% say neighborhood streets. A few people say on the back roads, major highways, or parking lots. I've noticed a lot in parking lots.
A lot in parking lots. I also had a tough pothole situation earlier this month. So if you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at coasttvnews.com or use the mobile app. Now let's take a live look into Dover. It's a little gray out there as we check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Well, as long as this fog's been sticking around, gray is the new sun. But hey, at least it's not freezing. We always go to that one, right? We're at 46 degrees at this present time, and we're looking for temperatures to stay in the lower 40s with mostly cloudy skies and continuing to stay a bit on the cloudy side. Now, as far as what's happening in the upper atmosphere, we're looking for it to continue to stay cloudy there, and then we have dense fog advisory still active along Highway 528 and 611, and as well now towards Ocean City in that area. And then we have small craft advisory active off of the Sussex County coast, watching out for about 20 to 25 mile per hour winds closer to the beaches. Now, we had high today of 46, which is actually below the 52, which is the norm for this time of the year. And then as we take a look at our expectations for tonight, we see a passing sprinkle or two pushing through with low level moisture staying in abundance going into a good portion of Saturday, going into Sunday as well. So for tonight, we're going to stay in the 40s. The wind's coming out of the east, grabbing some more moisture off of the water and flinging it on shore. Now, what that means for you over the weekend, we'll talk about that in detail in a moment. Till then, back to you.
Thanks, Paul. Del.dot is now accepting applications for the Transportation Alternatives Program until April 17th. The program is also known as TAP. It's community-driven and provides multimodal transportation options for people in Delaware, like pedestrian and bicycle facilities, wider walkways, and crosswalks. For more information on that application process, there's an overview webinar on March 12th, and we do have details on coasttv.com.
Maryland State Police is warning residents of the state, hey, look out for scammers posting as the state of Maryland Department of Vehicles. MSP says they're not related to the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration at all. If you receive a text, MSP says don't react out of fear, do not click the link, delete the message. Victims of a scam are encouraged to contact their local police department.
The president says he wants a whole new leadership structure in Iran and that he's not willing to make a deal to end this war that is now 1 week old.
But as NBC's Julie Sirkin reports, administration officials admit the U.S. military was working near the Iranian school, which was destroyed on Saturday.
Nearly 1 week in, the U.S. is intensifying attacks on Iran, with President Trump demanding unconditional surrender from the country's government.
They have no air defense. All of their airplanes are gone. Their communications are gone. Missiles are gone. Launches are gone, about 60% and 64% respectively. Other than that, they're doing quite well.
U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, today releasing video it says shows airstrikes on military targets inside Iran. But administration officials admitted to lawmakers that the U.S. was operating in the same area as a school that was destroyed by a missile on Saturday, according to two U.S. officials. At least 168 people died in that attack. Officials say the U.S. would not deliberately target a school and that CENTCOM is investigating. Meanwhile, with airspace closed, thousands of Americans have been stuck in the Middle East. Though the State Department says it has chartered jets to bring them home, many are returning now, but claim the government wasn't much help.
Every alert that they gave and all advice that they gave was like a day at least too late. Even when it wasn't too late, it was impossible to act upon, and then they would just hang up.
This conflict causing pain at the pump. The price of gas jumping more than 30 cents within days, according to AAA.
I don't want to spend money like this much on gas, but I have to get around.
But administration officials insisting the price hike will be short-lived.
Yeah, I think it's of order weeks. I would say in the worst case, but it's weeks, not months.
That is different from what we're hearing from countries in the Middle East who are warning that the longer this war goes on, the higher those oil prices are expected to be. Meanwhile, this all comes as 4 sources tell NBC News that Russians are helping the Iranians identify U.S. ships in the region. In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.
Do More 24, the Day of Giving in Delaware, ends tonight, and we'll introduce you to a nonprofit looking to raise money.
And we're watching out over the weekend for a little more in the way of fog and possibly a little more in the way of rain, but temperatures still on the high side.
But first, Delaware pride and a little St. Patrick's spirit. That's what's going on this weekend on Delmarva. Stay with us for cool things to do up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
The clocks spring forward Sunday, which means we do lose an hour this weekend, so you might want to make the most of the time you've got. Here's Christina DeRobertis with all the cool things to do.
The Milton St. Patty's Day Parade kicks off downtown at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and before that, there's a 5K race that's at 11 a.m. starting at Irish Eyes. On Saturday, 302 Horseshoe Crab and Dogfish Head celebrate 302 Day from 11 to 4. That includes food trucks, live music, raffles, and giveaways, plus the release of a special 302 lager beer.
We're hoping that this day continues to be known as like a true start of the warmer, busier season in coastal Delaware. We're really proud that Delaware State Parks is our beneficiary for the event. They're going to be auctioning off a couple of black tag, highly coveted license plates at the event.
The Lewes Public Library is hosting historian David J. Silverman for an America 250 author talk exploring Native American history and race in the United States. That's on Sunday from 5 to 6. Or if wellness is on your weekend list, the Delaware Resorts Health, Fitness, and Leisure Expo takes place Saturday at Cape Henlopen High School from 9 to 3. And in Ocean City, the 10th annual OC Film Festival continues all weekend. Screenings will be held at multiple venues across town, plus special events and opening and closing parties. For more details, you can visit coasttv.com and click on Cool Things to Do.
Always remember, no matter how foggy, cloudy, or drizzly it is, it's still not a blizzard. Keep everything in context, I always say. Now in Rehoboth, we're holding at 38 somewhat cool degrees, and it's cooler on the beaches than the inland areas, and we expected that because of the influence of the water. Now we will anticipate that it will continue to stay in the upper 30s for the rest of this evening. Now this is the movement of the cloud cover for right now, moving directly from the west to the east, kind of fainting in and out as far as what's happening with our satellite depiction of what's going on. But overall, we are anticipating that it's going to become a little breezy for us at Rehoboth Beach, Indian Beach, as a newly issued small craft advisory goes into effect for Bonham Hills, Ocean View, Bayview Park, as well as Fenwick Island, meaning that we're watching out for about 25-mile-per-hour winds. And then we have the dense fog concern from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague. Here's a look at our future fog. Saturday is going to be the time where the fog's going to continue to be problematic. We're looking at, for later on this evening, down to like a quarter of a mile or less throughout inland areas, and a little bit of that happening along the coast. Then Saturday morning, early in the morning, everybody's feeling the hovering of all of that dense fog. Pea soup fog continues, especially around lunchtime Saturday. Saturday, you will have to find some sunshine through all the fog, let alone the cloud cover. But then by Saturday evening, the doors open wide, and then we're seeing some sunshine just as the sun, by the way, is going to be going down. We're like 22 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago in Salisbury. So when you think about it, we had a high of 46, 52 is the norm, so we weren't quite as warm. Yesterday we warmed up to like 57. So thanks to the cloud cover and the lack of access to the sun, that's the cooling effect. Saturday early in the morning, we see scattered sprinkles pushing through, so a bit drizzly is what I'm calling it. And we're going to stay drizzly till we get a decent line of rain that'll pull through, likely on Sunday. So I begin to kind of detail the rain forecast. And overall, as we go from now to, let's say, Saturday going into Sunday, we're looking at maybe a 5/100th of an inch, not even quite a 1/10 of an inch of rain. Perhaps we may get just over a 1/10 in Ocean City. But overall, we are, abnormally dry, but we're not in the drought category throughout the Delmarva Peninsula, at least not yet. For the next 5 days, listen, we're looking at a better chance of scattered showers on Sunday, then another round likely for us going into Thursday. And this is that Thursday rain that we're talking about, and it dissipates pretty quickly. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. And boy, that fog's really coming back like a monster. After a day of sunshine on Monday, we're going to have Tuesday look like Monday and Monday look like Tuesday.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Do More 24, Delaware's event to donate to nonprofits, is underway. The clock is ticking to donate. Coast TV reporter Elisa Weber tells us about one organization that is fundraising and how much Do More 24 is looking to raise this year.
The Selbyville Public Library is an independent nonprofit organization, and fundraisers like Do More 24 help keep operations running. Kelly Klein, director of the Selbyville Public Library, says over the past few years, the library has received $80,000 from Do More 24.
Libraries are an underfunded resource in Delaware. They are really doing a lot more work because of the growth in the area, and there is just so much that we take on to assist our communities. And we are also in the midst of a literacy emergency, as our governor declared.
Klein says the demand for library services keeps growing.
We had about 15,000 visitors last summer, and that is just a huge amount of people. We'll probably have even more this summer.
In 2025, Do More 24 raised over $2.5 million, and this year the goal is even more.
Now is the time to give if you've never donated before, because your dollars go even further. And if we want a stronger Delaware, we have to work together to do that, and there's no dollar amount that's too small.
For a full list of organizations participating, you can visit the Do More 24 website. The deadline to donate is March 6th at 6 p.m. For Coast TV News, I'm Elisa Weber.
Coming up tonight on DSN at 7, the Delaware Bluecoats host the Westchester Knicks in NBA G League basketball. Then you can catch the final score at 10:30.
And coming up, these 6 American service members killed in the conflict with Iran return to Dover tomorrow. Which top American officials are expected at the dignified transfer? Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5.
Well, it will be a solemn day at Dover Air Force Base tomorrow as American service members killed in the Iranian strike are expected to be brought back home. The Army Reserve members were killed in Kuwait on Sunday, one day after the U.S. and Israel launched their military campaign against Iran. Federal officials say the 6 members worked in logistics and kept troops supplied with food and equipment. The White House says President Trump will attend the dignified transfers of those service members in Dover. Now here's a live look into Ocean View. We've got one more check on your forecast right after this.
Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, a science fair in Georgetown, what some students presented in hopes of a first place prize.
Oh, I love science fairs. Oh, wow. Oh, sorry, nerding out. Back to the forecast. Okay, 43 degrees in Milford. We're going to drop down to 40, 39 by the 8 o'clock hour. We do have a small craft advisory that is active, along with a dense fog advisory from Ocean City down towards Chincoteague. Our umbrella giveaway winner is Joanne Masso from Laurel. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis, Property Restoration Experts. Be sure you keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruxted, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Listen, it's going to go back to being real foggy on Saturday, okay? Especially around lunchtime. Spring forward with your clocks. Please keep that in mind. And then we'll clear out in time for some sunshine Monday with more cloud cover and fog on Tuesday.
All right. Thanks again, Paul. And thanks so much for joining us for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.